What's going on, guys? I wanted to jump on here real quick. I had a request on one of my Facebook communities for Diablo 4 for the build that I'm currently using. I've advertised this build. It is a very unique build. And yes, there is a lot of people out there that use the Bone Spear Necromancer build. But I can almost guarantee you it's not set up the way mine is. And mine was not set up by using build guides. Mine was set up by being somebody who's played this franchise for a long time. So I hope y'all enjoy the guide, and at the end I will be showing y'all in a nightmare dungeon just how well this build works. So this is for you, man. You asked for the build. Here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and do the weapons first, because I feel like it's the easiest one to go through. This one right here, I had one that didn't do as much damage, but it just got replaced today. I did a lot of revamping on this class. As we all know, and as we've seen through my live streams, that the Butcher has gotten severely worse as you go up in tiers. I'm on tier 4 now, and I've ran into him uh, twice in World Tier 4 now, and he has beaten me both times, which puts him above me at 8 wins to my 6. And me and him have 3 ties, where I got him down to half health, and he had me down to like 1 health potion left, and I got far enough away from him, and I guess the computer decided that it wasn't going to let me keep fighting him. So he vanished. So that's happened 3 times. So here we go. We're jumping into this thing. Anyways, the helmet. The bone spear leaves behind an echo as it travels, explodes, dealing 1,068 damage. Excuse me, sorry. I'm a little bit slow this afternoon or evening or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, so yes, there's that. Um, our barrier has, of course, gone up, and I don't understand it. I slapped on the barrier that is the generic one that you unlock by doing a dungeon, and I'm not exactly sure how the number has skyrocketed, but it has went from like 1,700 to 3,633. So, I'm not complaining, but yes, my chest armor at this current second is only scarred legendary chest armor, but there's a reason behind that. I cannot in good conscience get rid of this particular one without getting the same well, the willpower was added, but down at the bottom there and up at the top there in the white writing, the first one and the last one, those two together, I have not found yet. I'm sure they're out there, but the drop rate's kind of crazy. So, yeah. Anyways, we're going with this one. Now, I have the exact same gloves, but unique. Not ancestral unique, just unique, okay? But they do 35% explosion increased damage, where these only do 33%. But here's the kicker, okay? That lucky hit chance went up by 7%. The corpse skill attack on the other ones went up by 10%. The lucky hit went up like I think 8%. Both lucky hits went up about 8 to 9%. So, and that's a piece. So why wouldn't I trade down for a 2% damage decrease in the corpse explosion when I'm taking up so many lucky hit chances? With this build, it is something that you want to keep in your mind. Lucky hits. anything to do with, I'll see if I can find it. We'll stay on that top. We'll stay on the lucky hit topic for right now, though. But anything to do with the ones that I'm showing you right here. Lucky hit chance, corpse skill, attack speed. I'm telling you right now, I'm just sitting there just throwing them out there. Okay? If you watch my videos from last night before I got these gloves, you can see that there is a slower pace to me throwing out corpse explosion. Now I'm like throwing them out there left and right. Anyways, moving on. Sorry about that. We found these. Now this is another upgrade I found last night. I think it was last night or yesterday, one of the two. Now I had the same pants, but they did 40%, 40 something percent of my max life. Um, but I found these, and of course they kick up the drop rate of the potions by 10. They jack my stats up by another 10. The health that I have the chance to get back went up by like 500. The healing received is up to by quite a few. Um, but yeah, so obviously that was a no-brainer in picking these over the other ones. This one right here, this is more along the lines of your crowd control. You know what I'm saying? Like, once that ice starts going behind you, any monster, excuse me, about said animals. Either way, there's animals in this game, but any of the bad dudes that get behind you, you'll see it. The ice will build up on them. They'll slow down and they won't throw out their attacks as fast. So that's what that does. Just FYI. Plus, we get a bump in the crowd control duration, and we get a bump in movement speed, which now my movement speed is insane. I'll show y'all the stats after we get done going through these. Let's see here. Now this is my baby right here. Now I got this one. I pulled this one off a dungeon, I think yesterday or the day before that we actually ran into the butcher in, but this particular sickle drop. Sorry, this particular one dropped. And I'm going to tell you this right now. This was the start of the game changer from yesterday. Okay? This right here, this weapon right here, has completely changed how big of a damage my corpse explosion darkness, the dark hole that forms on the ground, it literally jacks it up. It was only like at like 6 to 7,000. Now it's at like 13,000. So it like more than doubled the amount of damage that one does, which with the explosion from the volatile skeleton that runs around from my gloves, and with the darkness jacked up as high as it can go the way it is, this weapon right here is literally this one's best friend. So thank you. I want to thank the drop gods for these two things. Even though this one took 2% drop in the damage it does through the corpse explosion, you gain so much more by losing just that 2% drop. If I still have them, I'll go check them out here in a minute. But anyways, we were on the sickle. So I had, if you watch my videos from literally probably a few hours ago, like I said, this change came pretty quickly. And as I started to play the nightmare dungeons and stuff, I started realizing that some of my things weren't coexisting together like they should, and that was primarily because of the shift from World Tier 1 and the 20 minutes spent doing the dungeon in World Tier 2 to come to World Tier 3 and get high enough to where I can move on out of World Tier 3. Out of all that mess, I forgot to change out my rings and stuff like that. So I was still carrying rings from World Tier 1 and 3. Okay, so they literally did not have the kind of stats that these ones do. Okay, and I had to add the generic aspects on there. The bone spear, I lost one that had like it was 2 seconds per bone shard, plus the bone spear did a 90% bonus damage to the vulnerable enemies. But I made that ring to where it could not be junked, it could not be used for an aspect. It's now it's either in my box or I sold it, one of the two. But when you add that circle, that blue circle dot up there at the whatever that damn thing's called, where you add the aspects onto your weapons and change them and stuff, Oculus or whatever his name is. I'm horrible at pronouncing words aloud, but I can read like a damn, like, crazy smart person in my head. I don't know how to describe that. It's kind of like how my wife, she can't swim above water, but claims that she knows how to swim underwater, which didn't make no sense to me, but neither did me knowing how to read in my head and not knowing how to read out loud. Either way, moving on. Not why we're here. I know. Oh no, is that? Did we shift it up? We're gonna go to Helltide if it's not done before we get there. That's the one we were on. Okay. Then we changed our necklace up, and I put on the 15 percent bonus in the sacrifice because I've sacrificed all my minions since I started in World Tier 1. The minions don't do jack nor shit after you get past 3. I'm just going to tell you that now. You have to literally get the Paragon board that jacks your minions up. Excuse me, guys. My daughter wanted to, or my stepdaughter was trying to talk to me. Um, anyways, I had to change quite a few things. Mainly, I had to change my rings and my necklace because they were outdated. After looking at the numbers and realizing a few things this morning when I was playing before I got on live, which I do sometimes, just so if I'm bringing y'all a build, at least I can complete it off screen and give y'all something more than likely mostly finished. Now there is a few things I'd like to tweak, like getting a higher numbers aspect on this particular aspect and a higher one on this one as well, because I had two of them, but the rings were altered to where they could not be broken down, so we had to move on. But moving on gave us higher stats. Anyways, okay, so we got through all that. Now, I'm sorry this takes forever. Now, I'm a bit of a talker, but we're going to get through this quick, okay? And then we're going to get on to the gameplay so I can show y'all just how mean this thing is, okay? A lot of people underestimate the Necro. I'm going to tell you right now, them people out there in them PvP fields, they don't like it. If I get enough distance between me and them, they're not going to make it close enough on me. So, just think of that. You can actually go into player versus player and not be sweating your nuts off thinking you're going to die the entire time. Anyways, y'all do see this, right? My critical strike chance by itself is 24%. Okay? Then, with all my little Paragon board skill points and every damn thing I got jacked up back there that I'm going to show you here after I show you all these, out of everything I got jacked up back there, we get another 105% thrown on top of the 24%, which makes it, what, everybody? Almost 100, and it makes it 129.2% critical chance and critical damage, okay? So I want you to think about that. That's one foul swoop. You can end an entire group of elites. One foul swoop. Alright, moving on. We want to jack up anything that has to do with doing damage to vulnerable, injured, or any kind of enemies that are um, in some way damaged. You know, critical strike 105. Critical strike damage with cord, that's another 105. I'm telling you right now, man, I did not have to look up any builds. I know how to do this stuff. It might take me a second. And getting the right equipment to drop with the right everything on it is a challenge, and why it can be a grind fest to get something as OP as this. Now, I will say this before we get further on. If you get trapped with this build, if you get trapped in the middle of them, you will more than likely die, because this build is not made to stay in a heavily populated enemy area for longer than a few seconds. You want to get in there, get your little essence, enough to get some distance, and then get away and kill them quickly. Now, a lot of people think it's not fun to kill mass amounts of enemies in one foul swoop, but I'm going to tell you this, when you get to the higher levels, it's going to be oh so much fun. Anyways, moving on. Overpowered damage. Now, you do see this, okay? So, it's already at 118.9%, okay? Then you add that 50 extra down there because I have a skill in my Paragon board that I will show you, okay? And then you have altogether 56.4 vulnerable damage, and that's just with the Paragon stats. That's not including my weapons, and not including the jewels that are attached to the weapons and all that stuff. Okay, so this is adding up just the points that I have from skills and Paragon points. That doesn't, I don't think it counts your weapons, because I'm not, the stats would be outrageous. Once you see once you see what I can do with this class right here, you're going to sit there and think to yourself, these stats still don't all stack up. And I've had some people, they're sitting there, like one dude today was sitting there telling me, I posted a picture of my dude up online. He's seeing my jewels and how they're stacked in there, which he did have a point. I had one or two of them in the wrong place, but I don't think that's what he was referring. He was referring to my weapon when he was commenting out. And I'm gonna tell you this now. I had a blue and a green one in there, which is still, the blue one does critical damage to I can't remember which ones. Hold on. If I have, sorry guys, if I have I don't know if any of these are blue. No. Okay. So, I don't remember what the blue ones do. They do some kind of critical strike damage or some kind of damage to vulnerable or something like that. But we went with the critical strike damage to vulnerable enemies, because when you see these skills and how I have them set up, vulnerability is going to happen more times than not. There ain't no rolls no more, man. Once you get to the point to where you build a class and you're actually making everything coexist, fuck a roll. I don't have to do a roll. I know what my dude's going to hit. I know I'm going to sweep them out from underneath the rugs. I know I'm going to clear the whole entire dungeon out, as long as I don't get stuck in a fucking corner or they freeze me and then turn around and after they freeze me or poison me, do me with one of them big old, melee hits like them goat men do. But, I die. I'm not, everybody dies in this game. I mean, I'm sure there's players out there that don't, but most 9 times out of 10, you're going to die at some point. Now, I wasn't really dying until I got to World Tier 4, but that's because these enemies they're a little bit smarter, a little bit faster, and can get you cornered quicker. So, just be sure to have make sure your movement speed is as high as it can go. I don't even know where that's at right now, but yeah. So I'm just showing you the stats. Then we're gonna move over to the Book of the Dead, and then from the Book of the Dead we're gonna move to the skills, and from the skills we're gonna move to the Paragon board. Now with the Paragon board, I will give you the full loadout to what I have so far and which way I'm going with it. And if you're not at level 78 and have done a few of the world challenges and gotten a few of those Paragon Point uh, prizes, then you might fall quite a few short of being able to fill your Paragon board up, because mine's not just points. It's been done with all the little renown you get and stuff like that. So be sure you start doing all the little side missions, and make sure you're checking out all the areas and doing all the, if you see a fortress, look man, I run through fortresses. I haven't had to have no help with a fortress, and I don't really have any friends to holler at, because most of my friends are grown. I'm grown, but I'm a video game, I'm a diehard video gamist, if that's even said right. Anyways, you see what my movement speed is? You may have a maximum of 200 movement speed, including bonuses. At this current second, mine is 124%. And I'm not really sure what it starts out with, but I know I'm moving a lot faster than what I used to. Lucky strike chance bonus 15%. Crowd control duration bonus 14%. Slow duration, lucky hit stun. And this is what happens when you're going up against me in PvP, which could be a lot higher, but I haven't gotten all the way around to that yet. We'll get there. I go in the PvP often, but I usually don't do it on live because there might be somebody who's watching from my communities that see me smoking them on a regular. Anyways, okay, so I'm not going to click on the buttons and show you everything. Everything you need to know is right on the screen right in front of you. The warrior skeleton sacrifice that you need to make for this class. It's non-negotiable. Fuck your minions, get rid of your minions. If you're running this class right here, you have no time for nothing else. And the minions, if you're in this class, will destroy anything under world tier 3, but if you're not the right level and have everything correctly placed, like with the white text in your weapons and jewelry and everything paired up together with your aspects and your skills, now it can be a bit challenging on 3, but you'll get to it. But 4, look man, it can get difficult, dude, and it gets more difficult as time goes on, and I know that from experience. But moving down to skeleton mages, we sacrifice the cold skeleton mages. Now the sacrifice is the diamond shaped at the very end of the column. See that highlighted in red, very end. Okay, that's all I should show you. That's all you need to know. I sacrificed the iron golem, like it says down there at the bottom under golems. Iron sacrificed. Skeleton mages, cold sacrificed. Skirmishers sacrificed. Those are the ones you need to go with. Okay. Now some people might say the reapers, because it's just depending on how you build this class. Like I said, a lot of these streamers, I've heard people tell me about their builds and stuff, but this build is not like everybody else's. Okay, this is one of trial and error and straight up grinding it out to find the pieces that needed to be found to make this class what it is. Now a lot of people might say, what the hell, why don't you stack all that? Because this is just a basic skill. Okay, giving it more power, that's not your bread and butter, so just juicing it up is just pointless. So just get it all the way down to here, slap 1 on the first one, even 2 if you want to, and you feel more comfortable with it. And then you drop all the way down to the bone splinter. Has 20% chance to hit and make an enemy vulnerable for 2 seconds. Now like I said, keep that vulnerable in your mind. There's 3 particular ones in those stats y'all seen that were jacked up, and they're jacked up for a reason, because that's the ones I focused on. Overpower, vulnerable, and critical. Everything else in due time, but those ones right there are the most necessary ones to make this class go somewhere quick. Anyways, if I had one more, I would throw it to this. If I had one more, I would throw it to this. But as I said, I'm trying to do all the little side missions. Some side missions you get skill points, and sometimes you get lucky, you get a skill point off the Tree of Wisdom or Whispers, wherever the fuck it is. Anyways, moving on. This is the reason why we are making this class, okay? Let me be perfectly clear about that right freaking now. This one right here, this is a Bone Spear Necromancer, okay? But the difference between this one and all the other ones is everybody wants to pump everything they got into this. You have to even it out, okay? Because this is not going to be able to be thrown around like those guys that are throwing it around on those build guides and shit. Those guys sit there and they literally have nothing else better to do other than play video games all day. And yes, I'm on for hours at a time, but you understand when I'm on and you see me idling in the fucking town for 15 to 20 to 30 minutes at a time, that's because I have shit going on in my life and I can't just, you know, so but either way, moving on. I'm not going to sit there and I'll give it 5 points. I'll give it all together, this column, 7 points. That's all you fucking need. And if you get more and you get some more skill points you can throw on it, cool beans. But it's not absolutely go out and grind 110% only to not find shit for this particular one. It is not often that this shit drops for this one, okay? Because they know that this one right here, Blizzard knows this one right here can be spammed so much. This one right here, Blizzard knows, is spawned like crazy, and if left unchecked, like this one's not even nerfed. It came out nerfed, okay? Because this one's been there a while. This is not the first time. People acting like, you know, this is the first time Bone Spears come around. This shit's been around forever, okay? And I'm gonna tell you something. It's always been one of them knockout skills. So moving on from there. This one right here, lucky hit. Your damage has up to a 12% chance to drop a corpse at the location of the target. So underneath the enemy, maybe we are hitting a boss and you know there's no other minions around to help us gather corpses. At least when we're hitting him, he'll at least drop a corpse every once in a blue moon. So that's where we were at. Okay, dropping down. Alright, now we got Blood Mist. Now Blood Mist does a few things. It does a little bit of damage. It's not going to do a whole lot. Um, and I bring it all the way over here to where it's almost touching the end of Bone Spear because it drops one corpse every 1 second. So let's say you'll see me in a nightmare dungeon and I'm shaking hell and earth, moving everything out of my way until I come across a room with the dome elites with the, you know, they got every element damage in that room. I might die once, but I'm gonna tell you this: when I come back, this little thing right here will make it to where I can slap them with the corpse tendrils, and then turn around and just free fire every bit of that full essence bar they just gave me for getting killed. So yeah, this one comes in handy for dropping corpses and dropping corpses in tight areas and not getting smacked and beaten and stuck in that little tight area. Like if you're getting stuck in an area by a bunch of enemies like you will in World Tier 4, this particular skill comes in handy. It's like fucking Houdini. You get out of that corner and you just go straight through him and you're doing a little bit of damage to him as you're going through him, but get the hell out of there and get to a different part. You'll see that in action here soon. Um, Grim Harvester, you'll see me nonstop. Just I hold down R1 for my corpse explosion. As soon as I start seeing all them corpses drop, that's what I do. Just tag, 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 tag. I don't even have to hit the button over and over again. You just hold down the gas. It'll go. All you gotta do is show it which direction it needs to go. So you deal 9% increased damage for 6 seconds after consuming your corpse, which you will see we consume a shitload of them. Well, we did it yesterday. Anyways, so yeah, so you'll be consuming a shitload of corpses, and consuming a corpse is like, oh my god, Becky, what the fuck? It just cut out on us. It's your fault, dog. Odin, it's your fault. Your fucking fault. You're so dumb, dog. Why'd you do that? Why'd you make the internet cut out on me? Hey, what time does it say over there, bud? 6 what now? Oh, 6:34. Okay. 3, huh? Anyways, sorry about that, you guys. So, we were at Corpse Explosion, drop down. Give y'all a real quick preview of that again. We go all the way over to the darkness. Altogether, it does 13,000 shadow damage every 6 seconds. You got this one, and you got that one, and then you got that one. So, the modifier is 15%. 15% added to 9,000. So, I guess that's what that is. Or is, they don't have all the, like, all the math is not added all up together in one area. So, anyways, corpse tendrils. I'll throw 2 on there because, just throwing it up, only it'll drop down the cooldown and it'll give you a little bit more damage, but the corpse tendril is not for damage purposes with this build. It is for making a V-line with the blood mist inside the enemy so they're all following you, and when you get them to follow you, run forward a little bit, hit corpse tendrils, and as they're walking toward you because you done booked it across the room as blood mist, you hit that corpse tendrils, and as soon as they're walking towards you, they get bam, brought back, and then you just throw every damn little bit of bone spear you got in them, and I promise you, you probably only have to throw 1 or 2, because when they're stunned, they're vulnerable as well, because it's set up to where if you get stunned, you're vulnerable with my build. With the vulnerable and stun damage that's stacked already with everything the way I got it set up, this corpse tendrils just makes that vulnerability and that stunned so much more. So, anyways, make sure you have that. You don't have to throw everything you got at it. 1 or 2. I threw 2 on there. I guess I was just getting towards the end of putting this class together at that point. So, this one came with one of the gloves. You don't have to worry about it. The blue numbers is always something that's at. The blue numbers is always a point added by your armor. So, if you didn't know, now you know. If you did know, sorry, but just going into detail because I know there is a freaking crap load of new people to this franchise, and I see nothing but I really do just want to tear into some of these idiots for asking the questions they do sometimes. But I understand this game's hard, and if you ain't like me who got into it like I think first time I played it I was like 8 years old. I didn't even have enough mental capacity to understand the game. I just enjoy running around with a little dude, and I think that's why my dad let me play it. I just enjoy running around as the little dude. So, anyways, yeah, I didn't really start playing it till 2 and really getting into it. But we do all these. That's why I've been circling around that. All the bone modifiers for these critical damage, converting into vulnerable enemies. Some more critical striking, critical damage, even more critical and bone damage. So, that Critical, vulnerable, and overpowered are the topics and the main three things you want to juice up in this class. Anyways, you see the remainder. There's one on standalone and Memento Mori, or I think that's what that is, Memento Mori. Uh, that one right there is a must to jack all the way up because that's another 60% bonus you have thrown to your sacrifices of your skeletons and your mages. Not your golem. Your golem, you don't get that much because you already get a 30% jack up to your critical strike through him. You don't. And you get even more as we move on into the Paragon board here in a second, and I'll try to shoot through that one so I'm not like sitting here talking y'all's ear off. But anyway, 60% bonus sacrifice, which is already at, and that's another 23% bonus added to our sacrifice on 23% stacked up on the golem, the mages, and the warriors. This one is 60% thrown to the sacrifice of the mages and the warriors, which is basically bringing it up even higher than the golem because then you add the 23% that I have on my aspect of my weapon. So, yeah, there you go. Then you got this right here, ossified essence. That's what we want to do. Throw some more. We want to throw some more bone skill dirt on them. You know what I'm saying? So that's the last one. Moving on to the Paragon board. Now this is a pain in the ass because I've already started working on my third one, and it might look complicated to you, but all it is a fucking, it's a tunnel or a road. Is all it is. A road to get to the best ones and not have to spend as much and still get all your perks. That's a perk. 20% bone skill damage for having over 270. You have to have over. You can't just have 270. Now, a lot of people, I've seen people go like, well, I have the requirements. Why won't it? Because you have to be over. At least one. You have to be over by at least 1 point or you do not qualify. Okay? You have to be at least 271. And you have to be smart enough to know how to strategically place these points, not just buy every one on the way up. It's not what it's there for, dude. I know a lot of people, even a buddy of mine, he gets very confused by this Paragon board, which this Paragon board is not hard. It's a little intimidating, but if you are good at, let's say, what's that? You know those maze things in those coloring books that you used to play as a kid? Okay, just think of it like that. You're trying to get to the best ones, and this is what you're looking for. Okay, you're going to be looking for this right here. It's going to have the dungeon symbol with some lightning around it, and that's going to be your next Paragon unlock, which you can pick them, FYI. So I went with the bone skill, clearly. I went with the bone one first. And pretty much have gotten everything that's any kind of important on this. Anything that I wanted off this one, I got it. We are on our way up to work towards this thing right here. 25% damage to healthy enemies, which, if you think about it, Butcher is 9 times out of 10 healthy. So that's 25% damage to him, plus a 15% critical strike damage, and another 25% damage to healthy enemies if these requirements are met. So I'm really looking forward to running into Butcher when I get to this part right here. Okay? Because this one right here, those enemies that you can't just whack in a few hits and kill them, that's what that's there for. So I want to show y'all my glyphs, but this is how it was done. Okay? So we'll start down here and start from the bottom. We go, this was the first one. Now, see what I did when I first started? I hit every damn one on the way up, not understanding it at first because it's kind of changed a little differently from when I played the last time. Well, I mean, I played 3, but Paragon boards, it's always been kind of complicated, but either way, um, yeah, so, anyways, we went, I'm just gonna slowly go over this so maybe y'all can pause it. I know I've been talking for a while, but this does take a minute to explain everything and the reasons why. So moving on up. You see this? Go ahead and pause it now. Okay. Now I'm going up a little bit. We don't need the blue ones anymore. We've seen those blue ones at the bottom. Now we're at the top, okay? So I didn't go with the maximum life because it only gives you 2%. Okay, so 2% on your life is not that high. Okay, what's really actually going to help you more than anything is the resistance and the damage. Okay, these two right here don't make a damn. So we move on up, added to my damage some more. Intelligence. Willpower, intelligence, and I can't pronounce the D one, but the dextria. Fuck you. Don't judge me on that. I apologize. Okay, I am a redneck. I'm not a dumb redneck, but I can't pronounce words for shit. We've been through that earlier. So, anyways, moving on. So this board right here is reliant on that at the bottom with the 27, 25 beside it. That's what you need. And if you don't know this, going through nightmare dungeons, at the end of them, you are able to take your sockets here, the little yellow dot there, and you're able to give it some more juice. So you're adding to more vulnerable damage, and it only gets higher and higher because you can keep upgrading them until I guess you can't. I haven't hit the roof with that upgrade yet, but either way. So I hope y'all have seen the first board. I'm moving on to the second one because the boards can take a minute to explain. But anyways, so what you do when you go up here, if you are making this class, you are going to go for the bone build when you go for the selection of your next Paragon board, okay? And you will have enough points to add all this up and everything. But this one, the first way I went was up, okay? I went up, over, this way, and because if I go this way, I'm spending a little bit. I go up higher, but I come through, and intelligence is something you're gonna want to need, and willpower, and this one. These are the main ones you want. So strength and everything. It's nice and all, but those are the main ones you want in this class. Is intelligence, willpower, and that one I can't pronounce. So, but it's the D one. Uh, y'all gotta forgive me. Anyways, 1+ essence on kill, 4+ maximum essence. Which I'm wondering if I can just really do away with this one. You know what I mean? Because I have other things like that. See, there's one right there. Hold on. See, look. See, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, no. It won't let me because that's the route up. So, anyways, I've had to shave it down a little bit. Anyways, so you see that's how that's going. We've been on that part for a minute. You come over here, then you start jacking up your critical strike damage, and this is where things are going to get real nasty for you using that bone spear. Is when you unlock this Paragon board and get up into these higher areas in this Paragon board. You can go over here and worry about this first if you'd like, which you can see I did. It's the critical strike, which is almost another 20%. So, you know what I'm saying, dude? Like, this ain't no joke, man. This class right here is serious freaking business, and even a barbarian couldn't even shit where I go with this class. I mean, I'm literally raking enemies out of my way. So, you see the Paragon board here? I'm gonna hover it above a little bit. See if we can get close enough. There's this one. There's this gift socket. Read it. Read the little thing at the bottom there, the socket in the white. That's what you're looking for. If the socket says that, that's the one you want. And so, yeah, and you want to make sure you don't care to purchase. When you got in these red boxes, if you don't know, now you know. This right here, whichever one this socket takes, you want to make sure that is the one you have the most of your points spent on in this red box. If you didn't know, now you know. So, I'm honestly thinking about coming up off this because this is, oh no, no, hold on. That one's not worth it, really. But we do lose a lot of intelligence coming out of this area. Sorry, guys. Like I said, this build is a work in progress, but it's far enough along now where I can show it to you, and the rest will follow. Anyways, so I'm not going to go into detail about this one. You've seen the one down here. There's been plenty of times to pause it. When it's further out, when it's further in, there's been plenty of time. We're moving on to this one, and this one's going to be quick. So you drop up, and this one right here is the board. Crap, I can't remember which board it is. Let's see. How do we do it again? Come down here, drop down. Yeah. So this one is this one, I believe. No, 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 no. I don't remember which one, man. It's damn. How you tell which one this is? This should tell it, right? Scent of Death. There you go. I think that's this one. Anyways, it's the one that allows you to do damage to healthy enemies. I'm sorry, guys. So, there's all that. You got all that information. We're done with this entire little walkthrough. I know it takes forever, and I know some people are like, God damn, we're gonna speed past it. I'm telling you right now, dude, you start speeding past everything in this game, you gonna end up, it ain't gonna be worth your damn time because you're gonna end up fucking yourself in the long run. Oh, so we take a 5% drop, but we get, you see all that? You see those stats, okay? See, this is what replaced this. This is a scarred unique item, okay? Now, the one on me now is a unique, or ancestral unique item, but look at the stats. You see that? I lose 5% to gain so much more. Where is it? There it is. I lose 5% on the corpse explosion and gain, what is that, 8 on the lucky hit, or 8 or 9 on the lucky hit, 4 or 5 on the up to a lucky chance of fear. You know, so here we can compare. I forgot. I'm sorry. Shit, there you go. That's what we found earlier today. We found these. Okay, so they're just the updated version of the ones I had on, which are over here on the left hand side where the stash is. So you see the stat difference? The lucky hit is what, 3.1%, or the second lucky hit column is 3.1% above it, and the first lucky hit column is what is that? 12.7. What is that? 8.3, 8.3% higher than the other one. If I'm doing that math correctly, I did not sleep well last night, so please bear with me. Anyways, the lucky hit chance goes up, like I told y'all, like 5 or 6, and the corpse skill attack goes up like, what is that? 9.1. So yes, that's why we changed that out. Oh yes, that's what we're doing. We're about to go to a nightmare dungeon just to show y'all here. Oh, that wasn't using it, that was storing it. Sorry guys. There. Holy crap. I didn't mean to use tier 30. I'm not ready for that yet. I need a few more Paragon points. I've already tried it. So, that's not me flaking out or no shit like that. So don't take it the wrong way. But I'm not going to level 30 on my own. I'll go do that with a buddy of mine or something like that. But on my own, I need a few more notches in my Paragon belt. See, I didn't move up to tier level 4 till I was 68. I know a lot of people just went ahead and decided to move on up, but I'm gonna tell you right now, dude. What the hell?
I'll see you.
Oh, because I'm at a jeweler. Anyways, I don't remember what I was saying, but yeah, dude. We are going to go do that now. And the good thing, the crazy thing about the nightmare dungeons, I don't think you can do this for the regular dungeon. No, you cannot. Nightmare dungeon, you can travel directly to, oh shit, hold on, dude. Make sure we don't need nothing fixed. I do that a lot, man. I'll go out and I'll have like, my shit's got like 30% break on it. And I won't even realize it until I get out there and I start dropping health a little bit faster than usual. So we had to make sure of that. So here we go. Out for a stroll in Sanctuary. This is so I'm going to do this for you guys. I'm going to put this on mute for this part. I hope y'all enjoyed the build. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and if you are already a subscriber and you know a few of your friends that need some help at walking through the Necromancer and you don't want to use some of these live streamers because you know they're giving you advice on level 100, okay? Well, if you look at my live stream, you could walk through literally from the start to the finish, okay? So this is my first character, so therefore we are working. This is something that's happening as we speak. This make and model of this character. What the fudge are you doing here? Hey, man.
Hello. Greetings.
Well, clearly there's something behind us. I was gonna put you on mute. Watch this. Those damn things will run away from me. I believe a elite's running away from me. Done. Oh, god damn. You kidding me? So that happens sometimes, as I say, that shit happens. Oh, we're not even in a nightmare dungeon yet. What a tool I am. Anyways, sorry for dying right there, y'all. That was not intentional. Sometimes I forget when I'm tired that those fire things, they're like damn crazy, ain't they? Dude, you'll move completely out of its way and it'll find you through a fucking wall. Shit's crazy. Damage to slow enemies and damage to injured enemies, 20% vulnerable damage. It would cut in overtime damage, but that you make up for it in the vulnerable damage. No, you don't, because the vulnerable damage on this is... I don't believe that ring is as good as this. We'll have to look at it further. Dude, most things, man, most of my legendary equipment, dude, I just end up putting in my damn stash. Most of the time. I don't even check it out. Once I find what I'm working with, the only thing I'm looking for is a matching aspect or a higher aspect to what I'm using. You get what I'm saying? I'll find that aspect and slap it on something new with almost the identical everything. Identical white text, identical aspects, identical stats, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So That's what I'm saying. Like you can see it. If it's still on there, I believe I took it off because my video quality was horrible. Number one, and two, as I was checking my video quality of my live, which I'm not even sure it's working right, because my daughter has my phone.
We got separated. My friends were cut down. I won't last on my own.
Oh my God, how many times have I heard that already? Oh God, they got those. Get out of there when you hear that. Level 80, just destroying. Oh crap. Spoke too soon. Sorry guys. Like I said, dude, you don't pay attention with this build. It was not designed to take a bunch of big hits from damn Nightmare Dungeon. And just like that, clearing the way with it. No, we got 5. Good God, dude. How many times did I die already? This is ridiculous. Increases in goat men, fallen, flies, and demons by 20. That's not what we're fighting. That's not what we're fighting. I guess they don't have a kryptonite, do they? Alright, whatever. I don't know their kryptonite. Whoever joined in, what's up? If you go back to the start of the video, the build and all the information is in there at the start. We are now doing a preview of the skills. This is a new and improved class.
Please, take this.
A lot of the skills are the same, but a lot of the jewelry and the armor and the aspects have changed slightly from yesterday. Due to an error I made of my own, jumping from World Tier 1 to World Tier 2, and then jumping to 3 shortly after. I was on World Tier 2 all of 20 minutes, long enough to do the dungeon. Which I soon realized once I got to the Nightmare Dungeon 3 and tried to go ahead of level 70, everything was a problem, and I was level 60, 67, 60 something. Towards the end of the 60s by the time I moved up to World Tier 4, and I was having issues. Sorry, I had to go get my coffee out of the... Oh. God dang, that's gasoline. Okay, here we go. Bunch of hard ass. Get away from those. There you go, see? All the souped up. You can throw all those other. I did die a few times in the first of this dungeon, but I wasn't paying no attention. Just waiting on my fucking coffee. Anyways, here we go. And you gotta pay attention. Goddamn. Dude, I played that one of those level 35.
Bless you.
You saw that? Yeah, dude. Sorry, guys. My buddy's here. That's who I was just talking to. But yeah, I was playing a level like 35, 40 dungeon, Nightmare Dungeon, and I don't know if y'all know this, but if you haven't played Nightmare Dungeons yet or anything like that, I can go ahead and tell you right now that those higher ones, they have something that follows you. kind of like that crap that's spawning on the ground right now, but it follows you through the entire thing, making sure you hurry up. And it will shoot me with lightning the entire time. A red rock that follows you around. Look how fast this is compared to the way it was. Boom, boom, boom. What is this? It's a dead person. Oh God, y'all caught me off guard. I did not know. Oh, fuck! Sorry. Sorry. Won't let that happen again. I keep fucking up. Okay. No more pencils, no more books. This shit's for real now. We ain't school no more. Whoever came, left. It is what it is. I don't get that, dude. Why does it show up and then they leave? Really, dude? Like, come on, man. We might not make it through this world here, guys. I am very sorry. I seem to be preoccupied in my mind for some reason and am dying on something that should make no fucking sense to be dying on. Do that shit one more time, you dreadful fucking knot. Come on. Oh, no, you don't. Not from behind me. Yeah, that's another thing, man. I like consuming some of those elixirs. I used to not use the elixirs.
I'm not ready yet. I'm low on essence.
We doing that no more. Y'all some bullshit, dude. Sticking in this tight little corner like that. It's that fucking light shining in, dude.
I need more time.
Here we go.
I'm low on essence.
Get over it and make some more. Anybody else see that treasure golem over there? He's gonna stick me in the middle of some bullshit. I know that much. They always do. Clear out a lot of this shit before we go after him.
Wouldn't have made it without you.
And lack the required essence. I'm not ready yet.
That cocksucker. finish this nightmare dungeon even with no spawns left. Just die, that's it. Maybe.
You're a saint.
God damn it, I hate it when they run like that. Knowing fucking well they're in trouble. Do that too.
I'm low on essence.
I never thought I'd be.
Just like that. Clear out the whole God. Playing your shit, Search for answers in the... Not even going to try to pronounce that. Hopefully it's a big answer. Can't be a big boss, can it? Don't be some tedious little... You are not dragging me over there. Come walking up like you some big old badass. Give me some space!
ready yet.
Oh, god dang, dude. 3 of them, huh?
I need more time. I need more time.
Simple enough. Oh yeah, I gave us one. So close. Well, there you have it, people. So, there's that class. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. I'll at you later.